Herkese merhaba. İrlanda'da Üniversite Eğitimi ve Trinity College Dublin'de özellikle üniversite eğitimi hakkında sunumumuza başlayacağız. Arkadaşlar lütfen sorularınızı chat box'ı kullanarak sorabilirsiniz. Bugünkü misafirimiz Trinity College Dublin'den Claudine. Kendisi bize Trinity College Dublin ve İrlanda'da üniversite eğitimi hakkında bilgiler verecek. Claudine, it's your turn now.
Fantastic. So thank you very much. Very welcome, everybody. My name is Cleena Martin, and I work at Trinity College Dublin. And my role is for recruitment and admissions for the International Foundation Programme. And what I'm going to speak to you today is a little bit about Ireland and about Trinity and about the International Foundation Programme. So if you have any questions, I know Alper's already said this, just type them in the chat box and I will do my best to answer any questions you may have. So first of all, for any of you that have never been to Ireland before, I'm going to play a quick little video, which is Ireland in 60 seconds. And this shows you little bits of the whole country, but also Trinity College features in it also quite a lot. So this is your introduction to Ireland. So that was Ireland in 60 seconds, a little bit of a taste. So first of all, why study in Ireland? So Ireland is a very friendly and safe country. We're actually in the top 15 safest countries in the world, and that's according to the Global Peace Index. We're a small country, just over 4.5 million people, and English is the language spoken here. We have a very long tradition in education excellence. So really Ireland's education system is really highly regarded and recognised all over the world. A lot of leading global companies have either their European or their global headquarters here in Ireland, some very close to Trinity College, and I'll speak a little bit more about that in a few minutes. It's a very innovative and creative culture. There's always a lot of interesting things going on in Ireland that you can take part in, whether that's working in your career or, hobbies and culture and art. We're the first in Europe for completion of third level education. And what that means is students that come and study in Ireland are more likely to finish their degree than in any other European country. Our currency is the euro. And we have the stay back visa, and that's for when you finish your degree or if you stay on your master's, your work permit. And I'll speak a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Now on to Trinity College, and I'm going to play another little video because I think we're all probably very zoomed out at the moment, a lot of things going on, a lot of people talking to you on screens. So here is a little introduction to Trinity. You had your introduction to Ireland, and now is an introduction to Trinity.
On the western edge of Europe lies a modern capital city, and in the beating heart of this city is Ireland's highest-ranking university, Trinity College Dublin. Trinity is a modern, living, breathing campus, pulsing with people, energy and ideas. It's made an indelible mark on Ireland and the world for more than 4 centuries, but its 21st century incarnation has its focus firmly fixed on the future. Today, Trinity's campus is Ireland's largest research centre, a place where leading experts from the humanities, the sciences, and medicine are creating research that matters and then turning that research into impact. Thousands of new students pass through Trinity's gates for the very first time every September. They join a community of 3,000 staff, 17,000 students, and alumni more than 130,000 strong. A community that is inclusive and welcoming and active in every corner of the globe. A community that will bring out the best in each student and help those students to make their way in life. Our students are all different, but they share one characteristic. They have never been content to accept life as they find it. They agitate. They innovate. They build new worlds. Perhaps this is why Trinity has produced 1/5 of all Irish spin-outs, more entrepreneurs than any other university in Europe, and more than half of all the Nobel laureates from the Republic of Ireland. Perhaps this is why Trinity collaborates so well with the Irish and multinational companies that make Dublin their home. Perhaps this is why Trinity has changed with every generation, and why Trinity never sits still. Perhaps this is why one of the world's great cities is home to one of the world's great universities. Trinity College Dublin.
So that was a little taste of Trinity. So now I'm going to ask you a question and maybe just think about the answer. Why would you like to study in Trinity? Or maybe you haven't thought about this yet, but I'm going to try and answer that question. Why people would want to study at Trinity College Dublin. And first of all, maybe it's for our good looks and location. As you saw in the video there, Trinity College Dublin is a beautiful campus. It's very old. It was founded in the 16th century. And you can see in the aerial shot here, you have the River Liffey to the left, and on the horizon, you have the ocean, and it's smack bang in the city centre. So it's a really fantastic location. Really beautiful architecture, very old architecture, and then new buildings as well. So it's a great mix. But we're not only pretty on the outside, we're also very pretty on the inside. And this is the long room. And this is a beautiful old library with lots of old manuscripts. And it's an interesting deposit library. And what that means is that every single book that is published in Ireland and the United Kingdom, Trinity College has to get a copy of it. And that's a lot of books, and that's why we have more than one library on campus. And just in case any of you happen to be a Star Wars fan, I'm not, but some people like this. So this library might look a little bit familiar because George Lucas, who directed Star Wars, visited Trinity College, and he loved the Long Room Library so much that he based it on the Jedi Library in Star Wars. You can see the similarity. So that's just, you know, George Lucas was on Trinity College campus for about an hour and he was inspired. So you can imagine studying there, the inspiration that you'll have. Or maybe it's because of the famous alumni that have attended Trinity College. And here's just a taste of some of them. So there's Jonathan Swift, Oscar Wilde, Ernest Walton, who won a Nobel Peace Prize for his work Splitting the Atom, Samuel Beckett, William Campbell, another Nobel Peace Prize winner that attended Trinity College, Mary Robinson, of course, the first female president of Ireland, and then the High Commissioner for the UN for Human Rights, a really fantastic woman. Also, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, Jack Gleeson, the terrible Joffrey, also attended Trinity College. And that's just a taste of some of the famous alumni. So it really shows that Trinity College students, no matter what decade, go on to do really fantastic things. Or maybe it's for our rankings. So Trinity is 101 in the world, and we're also Ireland's highest ranking university. And we are also Ireland's most innovative university. We're the first in Europe for educating entrepreneurs for the 6th year in a row. That's really fantastic. It really shows the fantastic education that you have at Trinity College. And we are 92nd in the world for graduate employability. Another ranking, actually, we're 8th in the world, 8th most international university in the world. Or maybe it's the employment opportunities. And before I talk about, you know, when you finish your degree, just to let you know that students are permitted to work during term time for up to 20 hours per week, if you wish. And then students can work for full time, so that's 40 hours per week, during the holidays. So when you finish your degree, you get a stay back work visa, and that's for 12 months. And that really gives you a year to find a job, because what happens is after you find a job, your employer most of the time will help you extend your work visa so you can stay for a lot longer. And just an interesting fact that 95% of Trinity College students are either employed or in further education within 6 months of graduation. So that really shows you that employers really look very favourably on a degree from Trinity College. So people that graduate from Trinity College get like snapped up very quickly by employers. So Ireland, another great reason to study here, it's a multinational hub. So lots of companies have made Ireland their global hub. And what that means for you, for students, one, there's great internship opportunities. Employment opportunities. So here's a list of some of them. There are 9 of the top 10 ICT companies. You know, we have Facebook and Google, 8 of the top 10 gaming companies. I don't know the names of any of them, I'll be honest, I'm not a gamer. 8 of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies, very important given, you know, COVID-19. 6 of the top 10 diagnostic companies, you know, a lot of the medical device companies. And this next fact, I think here is really interesting. So 5 of the top 10 companies, so half of the top 10 most innovative companies according to Forbes are in Ireland. Now, if you think about that, we're a population of just over 4.5 million, and half of the most innovative companies in the world are here. That just shows you that when you graduate, the kind of job you're going to get here, if you wanted to stay on, be really interesting and innovative, and you'll be doing really great work. And then also half of the world's leading financial service firms are here in Ireland as well. Now, this is just to give you a little bit of an indication of that I was speaking about, the international hub. So we see here the first arrow, that's the main campus. This is a new building area that we're building for emerging technologies, working with business and education. But if we do this, we can see some of those multinational companies that really are a stone's throw away from Trinity College. So, you know, Google, Airbnb, HubSpot, Salesforce, Facebook, they're all within walking distance of Trinity College. So that's something to bear in mind as well. Now, as a Trinity College student, when you graduate, you're a part of a club, you're an alumni. So no matter where you are in the world, there'll be other Trinity College alumni for you to connect with. And that's really important, you know, to help your career, for mentoring, or just to be part of that community. And there's over 131,000 people across 148 countries. So really, no matter where you go, you'll be able to find some Trinity College alumni to connect with. Now, while you're studying, it's obviously your education is very important, but it's really important to get involved in other things. So there's, you know, 18,000 students in Trinity College, and there's a lot of other things to do, so that we all have over 170 sports clubs and societies. So whatever sport you can think of, or any society, you can join that. And whether it's a hobby that you already have or something new that you want to try, there's great opportunity there. And just to give you a little taste of some of the societies, the Philosophical Society, or the Phil, is the oldest student society in the world, and that was established in 1683, so that's pretty old. And the Historical Society was established in 1747, and that's the oldest undergraduate debating society in the world. And to give you an indication of the kind of speakers that come and talk with the students, the US president, well, he's actually the US president now, Joe Biden, he was a president-elect, he came to speak to the students, and the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, you know, Oliver Stone, Al Pacino, Martin Scorsese, shows you the kind of speakers that come and talk to the students here in Trinity College. It's a great mix of people and really high profile. And that again shows you kind of how well respected Trinity College is, that the students can invite these people and they do come and speak to them. So international experience is really important. So Trinity is the 8th most international university in the world. And we have over 18,000 students from 118 countries and 27% international. And also we have a great mix of academic staff. So 873 academic staff and 40% of them international. So it really is a great multicultural and diverse campus. Now, global connections, this is very important. Even if you're an international student coming to study in Trinity College, we want to give you the opportunity to do either a semester or a year abroad. And we have connections with lots of top ranking universities worldwide, where you can go and study for a semester or a year, depending. And just to give you an example of some of them, Georgetown, Columbia, Brown, Moscow State, St. Petersburg, Hong Kong, Sorbonne, Copenhagen, the list goes on and on. So really all the top tier universities we partner with. There's also the Erasmus program, and that's part of the EU, where students can go and study across Europe in a partnering university, and again for a semester or a year. And if you're doing the Erasmus program, you get a small stipend, a small amount of money to help you buy your flights and setup and things like that. There's also the dual BA Trinity College program between Columbia University and ourselves here. And what that is, students study 2 years at Trinity College and then 2 years at Columbia University in New York. And at the end of that, students graduate with 2 degrees. You graduate with a degree from Trinity College and a degree from Columbia University in New York. Now, we are adding to this all the time, but currently here is the list of degrees where you can do the dual BA program. So we continue to add to that, just to let you know. And now I want to talk to you a little bit about the International Foundation Programme. So basically, the International Foundation Programme is a stepping stone to your Trinity College degree, which is then your stepping stone to your dream job, doing a job you love, potentially making lots of money if that's what you want as well. So the International Foundation Programme is a 1-year pathway programme. And what it is once you're accepted onto the International Foundation Programme, or we call it the IFP, you're given a conditional offer to study as an undergraduate at Trinity College the following September. And what that means is, once accepted to the IFP, all you have to do for the majority of programs is just work hard and achieve the required grades, and you will automatically progress to your degree of choice in the September. Okay, so you don't have to apply again, you don't have to do anything else. Once you're on the program, you just work hard and it's automatic. And just to let you know that we have a 90% progression rate on the IFP. So 90% of the students that join the program reach the required grades to progress to their degree of choice. And this is kind of how it works. So there's 2 pathways, pathway A and pathway B. Now, all students, no matter what pathway, study English for academic purpose and mathematics. And then depending on your pathway, you choose 2 electives. So if you're pathway A, you can choose between business, economics, sociology, or political science. And pathway B, you choose from physics, chemistry, and biology. So all students will study 4 subjects. And just to give you a little indication of what you can study in pathway A, there is the list. And just to also let you know, if there is a degree that you're really interested on and it's not listed here, please let me know, because we are constantly adding new programs to this all the time. So if there's something you're really interested in, I can expedite it and get it added a little bit quicker for you. So that's pathway A, it's arts and humanities, and pathway B is science, engineering, and health science, okay? So you can see all of them there. And the same applies if there's something in this area you are interested in and it's not listed, please just let me know and I will do my best to add it for you. Okay, so a little bit more about the IFP. The IFP is taught in Marino. And Marino is an associated college of Trinity College. So it's 15 minutes away from the main Trinity College campus. You can see it here, it's lovely, you know, more old buildings and nice kind of grounds. So when you're on the IFP, you're a Marino student and Trinity College student, which means you can use both campuses. We really do, all your teaching will be on the Marino campus, but we encourage you to come up to the Trinity Main College campus to, you know, take part in any events, use the sports centre, use one of the libraries, or just hang out in the sunshine when we have sunshine, you know. So the campus in Marino is lovely, and there is also on-campus accommodation, which you are guaranteed a place in if you do want to live on campus. And the on-campus accommodation has recently been refurbished. You can see the nice pictures there. And it's basically, you have your own bedroom and you have your own bathroom and then shared living. So you have a shared kitchen and living area, and it's normally 4 or 5 in each kind of apartment. So the entry requirements. So the entry requirements from the IFP are your lycée diplomatie. So I might have said that terribly wrong, so I'm very sorry. With at least a 4.0 or a 5 or 70% overall. Now, this is for the IFP. If you are a very high achieving student and you're getting way higher marks than this, you can also try and apply for direct entry. And direct entry means you don't have to do the IFP, you can go directly into first year of your degree. What I would advise, if you are applying for direct entry, apply for the IFP as well. So if you do not get direct entry, you can then do the IFP. And likewise, if you apply for IFP and you get direct entry, that's great. Perfect. So it just gives you that assurance that you have 2 routes, okay? So the English language requirements. So the general English language requirements, and that's for the majority of the courses listed in Pathway A and Pathway B, is an IELTS of 5 with no band lower than 4.5 and a 5 in writing, and then the equivalent in the TOEFL or the Duolingo. Now, some programs, such as English, history, law, pharmacy, medicine, psychology, and a few more like that, require a higher English language score. So for that, we look for an IELTS of 6.0, no band below 5.5, and the equivalent in the TOEFL and the Duolingo. Okay, so how to apply for the IFP? We like to keep things really straightforward and simple. So you apply by emailing the ifp@tcd.ie, but this is kind of something that your agent will do for you. So you don't really need to worry about this too much. So just so you're aware of the process, once we receive all this information, then we will issue either a conditional offer or a final offer to secure your place as well, okay? And just to let you know the fees, so there's slightly different fees. For Pathway A, it's 16,480, and that's the tuition fees. And Pathway B, it's slightly more at 17,995. And the reason for that is the Pathway A, you're doing lots of labs and things like that, so it's a bit more expensive. We have some estimated living costs here, and this is estimated, so it really depends on your lifestyle, but we're estimated of 15,000 per year, and that's your rent, your food, your utilities. Obviously, if you're drinking or eating caviar every day of the week, that'll be a lot more expensive as well. So just to be mindful of your kind of style of living. We have lots of scholarships that we love to give out to students, especially your students. So we have scholarships between 2,500 and 5,000 euro, and that's applied as a reduction to your tuition fees for the International Foundation Programme. So we're always here to help. So we are talking to the agents all the time. We have great relationships with them. So I am talking to Alper and everyone a lot. So if any recruitment and admission questions, I'm there. When you start the IFP, Brendan White is the program manager, and he is there just to make sure that you're settling in and to make sure everything is going okay. So it's a very supportive environment. And that is it. I'm going to end with one more video because 3 is the magic number. So we'll just play this, and then if there's any questions, I would love to answer them.
Inspiration has lived here since 1592, and more than 400 years later, it's still going strong. Inspiration has helped burgeoning writers put pen to paper and given world leaders a head start. It has set the stage for budding playwrights and created characters that will never die. For countless actors who started here, inspiration has played a part. Work done in Trinity helped split the atom, battled cancer, and guided man's first giant leap. From here, we've inspired people around the world. But even with this proud history, we are firmly focused on the future. Today, we are making new discoveries and inspiring the next generation of history makers.
that was inspiring. So I hope that's given you a little taste